Every day we set goals. It might be something as simple as a to-do list or what time we've got to be ready to go out. Might be the best time we've done on a swim or a run or the most weight we've lifted in a gym. But basically we set goals all the time. What about businesses? How many businesses out there actually have got documented business goals that they want to achieve in the next 5 years or 10 years? Today, Kurt and I are going to talk to you about setting goals and how powerful that is in the operation of your business.
How you going, Brian? Goal setting is an interesting thing because, as you mentioned, most businesses, most people do have goals. However, a lot of them are fairly loose goals. So if you've got a loose goal, what it probably means is you don't really know exactly what your goal is. And if it's a loose goal, you're probably not actually going to achieve it. So one of the first things around goal setting we find is that you need to document those goals. So the documentation process makes it specific, and it gives you something to look back on and refer to as you're going forward in your business to make sure that you are meeting the goals that you originally set out to achieve.
Yeah, for sure. A bit like New Year's resolutions. People just make them on the fly. There's no real commitment to them. They're not written anywhere. So therefore they go out the window by about the 15th of January.
Definitely. Along with that, people need to think about why they have set the goals they've set. If you don't have a really good, strong why on your business goals, if you don't really know why you've set those business goals, then maybe they're actually the wrong goals. You need to know where you're heading, and you need to know why you're wanting to head there. So figuring out the why is really important as well.
Yeah, for sure. And part of that why is also, why do you do what you do? If you're doing things daily, your day in, day out routine, why are you doing that if that doesn't line up with the goal that you're trying to achieve at the end of that 5 years, 10 years, or whenever it comes to retirement, if you're wanting to achieve certain things by certain points in time?
Along that point, we've found the most successful businesses and the most successful people focus on what they are currently doing, look at the list of what they're currently doing, and decide whether that is the most important and most beneficial to their business. So make a list of everything you're doing in your business, and then pick the few things that you should be doing that are going to help you to achieve the goals that you've set for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And along that same line is, look at it from probably 3 different perspectives. What should you stop doing? What should you continue doing? And what should you start doing? Because the things that you should start or continue doing are just as important as the things that you should stop doing if they're not going to help you achieve your goals.
Definitely. Now, goal setting we think of like using a map. So if you're wanting to get somewhere on a map, what you do, the first thing is to know where your destination is. You then plug your destination into the map, you look at the destination, you look at where you currently are, and then you work out the stops along the way or the destination, how to get to the destination, and the easiest, quickest way to get to that destination.
Yep, and along the way you know that there's certain points which tell you if you're on the right track. If you're driving from Sydney to Darwin, and you're certainly not probably going to go through Perth. So if you hit Perth, you're a bit off track. You need to make a correction and get things back on the right rails again.
Another thought of that is to start off with a long-term plan. A classic example of long-term planning. We were at a seminar with Michael Hill jeweller. Michael was in his mid-70s at the time, and he set a 30-year plan. So for a mid-70s-year-old man to set a 30-year plan is fairly long-term, and some may say optimistic, but it was a great example of setting long-term plans.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people think only 3 years, maybe 5 years out. Here's a guy who's still thinking 30 years ahead and where he wants to be, and he writes it down. It's all documented, and which comes back to that documentation that you were saying, that you've got to have them written down.
Definitely. Now, as far as that, we're not necessarily saying that you have to do 30 years, but start off with a 10-year goal. So the first step is to say, where do I want to be in 10 years' time? Now, that can change along the way, obviously, but you need to build it down into smaller steps. So you start off with a 10-year goal, then you say, okay, well, to achieve that 10-year goal, where do I need to be in 5 years' time? To achieve that, where do I need to be in 3 years' time? 12 months' time? And then break down further still to achieve that. where do I need to do and what do I need to do each 3 months. So a 3-month period is a long enough time to get something done, and we've found is a very effective way to achieving more long-term goals.
Yeah, it basically breaks down your goals into bite-sized chunks to get it from that 10-year goal, which can be, which is quite broad, and then you come down at this 3-month period, you're becoming quite specific about the things that have to be done, must be done, who's going to do them, when are they going to do them by, and what impact are those actions going to have. When you really think through them, if those actions aren't going to be directly impacting where they need to achieve that 10-year goal, why are you bothering doing them?
Our best clients actually meet with us quarterly, so we are involved in that process. We look at quarterly meetings with the clients. In those meetings, we set goals for the next 3 months. We look at more long-term goals, and I guess in some ways they're fairly simplistic. Once again, we like to do things as simplistic as possible, but they keep people focused and on the right track to make sure that if they're trying to get to destination X, they're not going to end up in destination Y.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't want to get lost along the way to achieving your long-term goals, come and see Clifton Accountants today. We'll work with you, work through a quarterly meeting process and really make sure that you're hitting the targets, passing the waypoints that you need to navigate that roadmap and get to your destination, your end goals.